Okay, guys. When someone takes my back, they're traditionally gonna have like a seatbelt grip. I always want to tuck my chin, if I can, underneath my own lapel, and then grab both of the hands on the choking side. And then I'd prefer to fall onto this side. If I can, I'll break his grip and then get underneath this arm. If I cannot, I just need to make sure I have as much space as I can make myself by pulling the slack in his arm like this from his elbow. Then I'm going to want to look towards my partner and then get my back onto the ground as much as I can. If his hook is still in, I need to straighten my leg. Look at this right leg right here. I'm going to straighten it and then point my knee to the inside. And then I'll step over. And now I'm going to not get off this bottom leg. If I get off this bottom leg and make this light, he's going to get up and start mounting me. So come back. So instead, I'll be heavy on this leg right here and make sure it's pinned underneath me while I switch my feet. So right now, my hips is faced completely to the sky. I want to face towards the mat like this. So I want to first do a little 1-2 with my feet. And then as soon as I do that, I'm going to start driving into him and punching this towards his armpit. So I'll do this, 1, 2, punch to his armpit, and then come up into the close guard. So my partner will have my back. I want to make sure I'm blocking the choking arm. Trying to tuck my chin as well. If I can, I'll go ahead and break this, get my head underneath, grab the tricep, and do the same thing. Make sure that I don't get light on this leg before I start to come up. There's going to be a race for me to get up before he can come and mount me. So I need to make sure I'm heavy on this bottom leg until I can escape my leg from the hook, switch my feet, and then now start driving up into him. Any questions? Let's give it a shot, 1, 2. Alright, this time I'll take my opponent's back. Okay, so if he wants to fall to this side to start his escape, I'm gonna try to force the fight to fall to the other side if I have my opponent's back. This is, I think, the stronger side to finish on in a lot of cases. So when I fall to this side, I immediately want to address him getting his hips free to stepping over. So I want to immediately step onto his hip and then bring my foot above his hip line right here, if I can. Now, I'm going to use this hand right here to open this lapel and fold, make like a fold right where the lapel stops being thick. So I can pass a 4-finger grip inside his lapel right here. My other hand will grab the other side of his lapel. Now I'm going to use my foot that's stepping on his hip to adjust him down my hip a little bit. I'm going to step over his shoulder, and then I'm going to press down with my foot like this as I pull my elbow back to my ribs. So I'll be here in a nice seatbelt. He's going to be both hands on my choking hand, so it might make this hand free to fold this lapel and then pass this off. Now I'll grab the other side of the lapel, step on his hip so that he's nice and low, bring my foot up high, step over his shoulder, and now I kick down as I bring my elbow to my side. We'll go to this side. Alright, so I'm going to force him down to this direction. And when I'm here, guys, I need to make sure that my head stays at level with his head. If his head goes to the ground, he's going to start crawling off and making sure that the ground protects him from me taking his back and submitting him. So I need to make sure I'm right here. I can whisper in his ear type of thing. Then I'm going to use this hand right here that's free because he's worried about this choking hand. So fold this grip inside out. Now I can work my way to getting a 4-finger inside of the collar. Grab the other lapel. Doesn't matter if it's high or low on this other side. This other side could be adjustable. Now I'm going to step on his hip. Bring him down. Step over his shoulder. I'm going to bring my elbow to my side, and I'm going to bring my foot down towards the ground. Questions? Let's give it a shot. 1, 2. Now my opponent will be in the turtle position. Let's move a little bit this way. Okay. Okay, guys. When my opponent is in turtle, I'm gonna have one hand draped around his waist. This hand is gonna be doing the same thing that we were just doing from the back. It's gonna feed this lapel grip to the other hand. Now I'm gonna use my hand either on the elbow, maybe on I can grab a grip on his gi, or I can just put it on the floor for base. But I want to use my knee as like a door stopper grip so that I can pull his hips down like so. Once his hips are kind of off balance right here, where it's going to be super easy to make him fall over, I want to open up this space for his hips to fall. So I'm just going to take this leg and scoot it back. Once he's down on the ground, I'm going to take my knee high up next to his ear, and then I'm going to curl my foot underneath his back right here. Now I'll grab my seatbelt and sit down on my hip. And I want to do the same thing as before. I want to glue my head on his shoulder, and then take my seatbelt grip and take my elbow and pick it back up on my thigh. Now I'll take my time kicking this hook through. Keep my head glued to his shoulder as I move to the other side. Now I want you guys to do the same finish you just learned. So I'm going to take the far side hand, and I'm going to grab the close lapel. I'm going to feed it across so that I can catch it in my other hand. Now I have a grip around his waist. I'm going to try to knock him off his base by keeping my knee next to his knee and then pulling his hip to the floor and then opening up the space. Once his hips are right about here, I just open up the space. Now I put my knee up next to his ear and then curl my foot underneath his back. Sit down on my hip, grab the seatbelt, and drag my elbow all the way up on my thigh, glue my head to his shoulder. Now I can take my time, kicking my hook through, and then switching to the other side. Now I'll go for the finish I just learned. Questions? Let's give it a shot. 1, 2. Okay. Stand right here. Okay, so our opponent's going to take like a staggered stance. Yep. And then I'm going to want what's called the De La Riva grip. I just want to cuff his pant grip with 4 fingers inside like this. Then I'm going to bring my foot to the outside with my other foot containing him, so that if I were like drawing knees or arrows from my knees, then my arrows are containing him within this like radius of my hips. So I take this, and then I bring my knee right above his knee. I want to make sure my knee stays above his knee. If he starts pushing my knee down, this is a mistake for me. Keep my knee above his knee. This hand is going to reach up for the collar, and I'm going to kick. As I kick, I want to sit up with my kick, like this. Come back. So I'll be here. I'm going to grab the collar down here. As I kick, I sit up with it all the way up here. Now I want to make a hook behind his hip. So it's going to be an active foot like this, not lazy like that. I want to make an active hook right behind his hips. And as I bring my back to the ground, I'm going to generate a lot of weight on this collar grip to be able to get him to post his hands on the ground like this. Notice how I have his leg up high like this. I don't want him to be able to put this foot on the ground until I choose to. Now I'm gonna drop this foot between my hips as I turn towards my opponent. But as I turn to my opponent, I don't want to stay on my side. I want to go all the way until I'm belly down. Watch. Now that I'm belly down, I can build my base by putting my feet on the ground and getting up. Now I'll pass this grip to my other hand, put my knee on the outside, and then I'll be in the same scenario we just went over. So I'll take this cuff grip right here with the pant grip. I'll keep my knee above his knee. My feet are on the outside. If his knee is faced towards me, it might be hard to push here, guys. So I need to make sure I'm aiming my ball of my toe for the inside of his knee. Now as I kick, I'm going to use that kick to open up the space to sit up like this. Now I'm going to keep an active hook and switch this foot on the knee for a hook right behind his butt. Drag him back down as I put my back all the way on the ground. Keeping this foot off the ground until I choose to start switching to my side. But I don't stay on my side, I go all the way till I'm belly down. Like this. Now I get active toes on the mat, grab around his waist, and start building myself all the way up. Now I'll pass the grip, get my knee to the outside, drag him down, and go for that choke. Questions? Okay, 1, 2.